And I'm here today to talk to you about meditation and the I am presence, among other things. This was another impromptu decision. I woke up this morning and felt like this was something that I really wanted to do today. So if you're tuning in to join me, I really appreciate it. Or if you're going to watch it later on the replay, I am just grateful that you're here with me today. So, first off, I want to um, say that this is going to focus more on embodiment than instruction. So, meditation, there is a lot of instruction out there. You can take classes, you can go online, you can read books. We, I mean, there's so much that spans back, over time. We have uh, plenty of materials that will teach us the best way to meditate or give you instruction on how to do so. I am not as interested in instructing you as I am embodying it for you and encouraging you to try it for yourself. And thank you for joining, Kevin. Um, I have had experience in the past where people have approached wanting to learn how to meditate. And for me personally, even though I love teaching, I have found that when it comes to meditation, the best way isn't teaching or instruction. Many times, just being in proximity or in the presence of somebody else who is meditating, that can be the most beneficial way to learn for yourself. So, we're going to do that in a little bit, where I will just meditate and you can meditate along with me or watch or just kind of feel it out. Um, so we'll be doing that soon. I also would like to talk a little bit about the I am, or the I am presence. Um, I wrote a couple articles here recently about the great paradox of the I am. And this is something that can cause confusion to our mind. Our mind can get really hung up on what do I mean when I'm saying I am? And a lot of us, or you may have seen people encourage I am affirmations. And I began I am affirmations around about 15 years ago now, kind of intuitively. It was a holdover from my Christian days. I knew of Jesus talking about I am, and when I started meditating, eventually it just kind of came to me to um, say this as I meditated, kind of realizing that, just like Jesus talked about, that within us we have the I am presence. And I see that you can hear the wind chimes. I wasn't sure if that would come through, so I'm happy. Today's a beautiful day, right? In Lake Havasu City, Arizona. We're having great weather. Is probably like some of your summers. For some of you, we're in the 70-degree weather. And so I thought it would be nice to sit outside and meditate with you all. So again, I appreciate everybody who's joining in. I know this was spur of the moment, and I want to thank you all for joining me. So again, what I was picking up where I left off, what I was saying about um, I am is the presence within us, and it is our source, our higher self, consciousness. There's many different words we give to I am, um, because really there is no name for I am. Hence why Jesus probably said, I am that I am, because there is no real name for consciousness, God, source, the higher self. However identify the essence inside of you, your true essence, uh, what is ultimately guiding you. And some of us are much more aware of it than others. Sometimes it takes a long time to become aware of it, but it is there, and meditation is a great way to become more aware of it. So right now, when I say I am, I can mean a couple different things. I can say, I am Kristina. I am hungry. I'm not really, but I'm just trying to think of things. I am feeling good today. So we can use this to talk about the small I am, or the ego self. When we are using I am affirmations or meditating with I am, we generally are not meaning that. We are generally meaning the greater I am, the I am presence that's within us. So if I say I am peace, I'm not meaning Kristina Ray is peace. If I say I am God, I am not meaning Kristina Ray as God. If I say I am everything, I don't mean Kristina Ray is everything. I mean the source within me is everything. The source within me is God. The source within me is peace. And so this kind of helps, because our mind can get hung up when we're doing this and start going, wait, I'm not that. I'm not really that. I'm not really that. And your ego most of the time is not those things you're saying, but that's not really who we're talking about. You're trying to connect to the presence within you. So when you say I am, that is your way of embodying and connecting to the I am presence. So it's when we talk about the ego, we're talking about this self that we have a name, we have all these personality traits, we might have a job, we might have roles, we might be, a mom, a dad, a teacher, there's all these different things that we are. Um, and that is the I am presence focusing on a specific point. And that's who we all are. We're all the I am focusing on specific points in time. And that's how we experience this reality that we're in, through those focus points. Um, that's what we call life. But beneath all that, there is the greater source, and there is the greater I am. And I'm not necessarily encouraging everyone to try and stay in that state all the time. But it is beneficial for us to connect to that state, to help remind us that this life is not as serious or scary or worrisome or anxiety ridden, all these things that can kind of come through the ego. When we connect to the I am, it helps remind us who we really are, and that the ego is just us kind of playing the game right now. That isn't our entirety. That isn't all that we are. We are more than our ego. I am more than Kristina Ray. I am more than this body. I am more than these thoughts. And welcome, Frankie. Thank you for joining us. Um, so all of you who are here, you are more than your name. You are more than, this person that you know yourself as. You are something else entirely. And when we spend time in stillness and when we spend time in the I am presence, we can connect to something greater than our ego, something more than our ego. But you still are that. It's not separate from you. It's not something out there. It's something right here inside you, inside me. And um, it is honestly, we're inside all of it. It is everything. So if you want to look at it that way, that's another way to look at it. Source is everything. God is everything. There is nothing that is separate from it. There is nothing that is outside of it. And so I am, you are, we are all inside of source consciousness. And when we say I am, when we affirm I am, we are connecting and reminding ourselves what we truly are. Um, Another thing I want to touch on, if you're going to stay with me and do some I am affirmations and meditation, is if you should say it out loud or say it within yourself. And you can also, there's also whispering it or saying it loudly. There's all these different ways that people will advocate how you should do this. And I personally, just like with most things, think that it's something that you have to find for yourself, whatever makes sense to you, whatever feels right to you. And that could be different every single time you do it. I know I came from a background that when we in the Christian church, there's kind of this idea that saying things out loud is better, um, because it's this kind of way to like, it's almost like you're proving that you're not ashamed. And so you say it out loud. So when I first started doing I am affirmations, I always said them out loud because of that. Over time, I've realized many times saying it inside of me without actually saying out loud makes me feel closer to I am. I feel more connected to I am. So a lot of times I don't speak it out loud. I say it right within myself, and all these different ways are valid. So however you feel comfortable is the best way. And you can try different ways and you can go back and forth. You can, do it however you want. But I wanted to let you know there's no wrong or right way when it comes to I am affirmations. And there's no specific ones. Like you can make them up as you go along. That's what I first started doing. I didn't even know that it was a thing when I first started doing it. I just started doing it. And so I would just say whatever came to me as I was meditating. So I encourage you when you're doing this on your own, just say whatever comes to you. That there's no like specific ones. There's no like set. These are the I am affirmations that you should be saying. So I encourage you to experiment. Um, and so, with that being said, I think right now would be a great time to take a few deep breaths. And another thing, I may keep my eyes open. I may shut them. I might go back and forth. So if I don't see you in the comments, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to kind of do what I feel. And I encourage you to do the same thing. You can close your eyes. You can keep them open, however you feel. But, and again, you might not even want to join in. You might just want to watch for now, whatever feels good to you. And we're just going to, take some breaths. You can, I like to take some deep breaths. Eventually, you will want to just kind of let your normal breathing take over. And you can stay focused on your breathing. You can observe your breathing. But we're going to also incorporate I am affirmations. So I will say some out loud, and there will be times when I won't say anything, and you can just listen to the sound of the silence. Um, Stillness is an amazing thing when you listen to it. Eventually, you start to realize it does make a sound. Stillness isn't as quiet as we might think it is. There is a sound to silence. So um, we'll have times where I won't say anything, and we can just listen to that together in this collective right now, this collective energy that we're cultivating at this moment. So thank you everyone who's joined me right now. We're just going to um, go ahead and jump right in. So let's take some deep breaths together, or just like I said, you can just watch and jump in when you feel comfortable. Just let yourself settle in. I am everything. I am one with everything. I am love. I am peace. I am that I am. I am joy bubbling over. I am the source of everything. I am abundance. I am healing. I am love. All right, we're going to pause right here. And those of you who have recently joined, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. We are spending some time in the collective energy of I am. And this is, again, more about embodiment than instruction. So, where I'm giving you some hints, for the most part, this is about feeling your way into it. And I encourage everyone to let go of what you might think you should or shouldn't do, or how not to do it, and just let yourself experiment and see how it goes. Um, I want those of you who were joining and who were affirming I am, to kind of reflect a little bit on how that felt, what that was like, how it worked for you, and give yourself, you know, a pat on the back, I guess, if you will, but congratulate yourself for actually trying and joining in, because it isn't easy to do something like this unless you've been around it, or been exposed to it, or been practicing it for a while now. It's always kind of difficult, or there's like this resistance or apprehension when it comes to these kinds of things. So those of you who are taking the step to try and maybe do something that's outside of your comfort zone, I want to applaud you for doing that, and encourage you to not worry if you're doing it right, or if you're, you know, feeling what you are supposed to feel, or if there really is no uh, expectation. There really is no, this is what should happen. Meditation ultimately is about getting to know yourself, observing yourself, and connecting to your deeper self. So that can happen in so many different ways. There isn't a certain thing that we're looking for. Your mind may have a certain thing that it's looking for. You might, want to meditate because you think it's going to, get rid of all your thoughts, or because you think it's going to give you inner peace, or because you think it might, you know, make you enlightened, or there's these different ideas that we have about it. But and those things can definitely happen, but ultimately, it is about a journey of just getting to know yourself. And most of us have meditated, especially when we were younger, without even realizing it, because it is basically your natural state. When you just calm down and become still and let everything fall away, that's what meditation is. And so most of us intuitively know how to do this, and a lot of us did it when we were young, not knowing that's what it was. Um, so it's not something you actually need to learn to do, it's more like it's something you're remembering how to do because it does come natural once you let go of the mental hangups. So, again, um, we're going to kind of jump back in, spend a little bit more time just getting to know ourselves, observing ourselves. Um, Another thing that you can try, especially if you're finding that for some people when they attempt to meditate, it can cause a little bit of anxiety, which seems, like a contradiction, but I the idea of wanting to do it right or sometimes when you start to meditate, you really can now hear what's going on in your head, and these things can make us a little unsettled. And one of the best ways to deal with that is by humming, simply, and that has an effect on our nervous system that almost immediately starts to calm us and help us come into stillness. So I encourage you don't have to do affirmations. Um, you don't have to do anything. But if you're finding that it is giving you some anxiety, and again, that's helpful anytime when the humming, some people call it bee breath, and I'm sure there's a bunch of other names for it, but humming is very, very effective for anxiety. So anytime that you start experiencing that, you can take a breath and hum and find that it can almost instantly calm your nervous system. So if you're experiencing that, or if you just want to try it, I personally really enjoy humming when I meditate. So that's another thing that you can do right now. Whatever feels good to you. And thank you to those who are just joining. We're getting ready to jump back into some stillness and some meditation. I would love for you to join. If you just want to watch, that's okay too. This is more about embodiment versus instruction. And so just kind of feel your way into it, uh, however feels comfortable to you. I know the last time I talked a little bit about mudras. There, you can make up a mudra. It's just what you do with your hands while you're meditating. You don't have to do them. Some people find them very beneficial. They affect our body in certain ways. So, um, and I just saw Frankie said, I find smiling helps. And I tend to smile too when I meditate. So, I encourage that as well. There's really so many things. It's kind of fun when you start to uh, just experiment around. So we're going to do this a little bit longer. And if you want to stay with me and join in, please do. Here we go. I am everything. I am all that is. There is nothing outside of I am. I am one with everything. I am peace. I am stillness. I am compassion. I am grateful. Mm. I am brave. I am capable. I am everything. Right now, I just want to encourage you to listen to the stillness, like we talked about earlier. See if you can actually hear the sound of silence. It might be hard to tell if it's coming from without or from within. I am embodying I am. I am love. I am serenity. I am capable of accomplishing anything I set my mind to. I am free. All right. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you giving this a shot. I know that this isn't your typical live stream. I'm not sure if anybody else is doing anything like this, but I really like the idea of um, us learning together and finding our own way when it comes to spiritual practices. And so let me know what you think of this. You can DM me. Uh, Let me know if you have any questions about the things I said, if you would like to know more about anything I said, if you're curious about mudras, or if you're curious about I am affirmations, or just anything regarding meditation or spiritual practices. My DMs are always open. And if you found this interesting, I encourage you to check out my 2 articles about the great paradox of I am, and that goes into more detail about what we were doing here with that and kind of addresses some of the mental hangups that might come along with that. So I encourage you to check out those articles if you haven't yet. And thank you, Kevin, for letting me know. I hope I feel so calm now as well, and, which is great for a live stream because sometimes live streams can, be a little, uh put you a little bit on edge, and so it's really nice to combine meditation with, live streaming. Um, I hope the rest of you who were with me today and those of you who are going to watch or are watching on the replay, I hope that you also now feel a sense of calm, a sense of empowerment, and just know that you did a great job no matter what you did, whether you joined in or watched and experimented around, however it turned out, however you feel, it's just wonderful that you joined in to the collective energy today and were here with us. And so I encourage you to continue this right now if you feel like you would like to keep on doing this after we um, say goodbye, or, try it again later before you go to bed, when you wake up in the morning, or any time that you need a break from the busyness or what's happening in life. So you can always just take a minute and take some breaths, hum a little, you know, say a few affirmations. You can do it anytime. Like I said, you don't have to say it out loud. You can say it in your head. You can do it, obviously there's times when you can't just close your eyes and sit down but I mean, you don't have to do that to connect to yourself. I've done this waiting in line at the grocery store or, you know, sitting in, you know, the dentist office or wherever you are. I mean, you can you can even do it when you're driving in your car, just don't close your eyes. So this is something that this is we practice this, but this is something that you can do anywhere, anytime, in any position. It's not something that you have to do in a certain way. So I encourage you all to incorporate this into your daily lives. Uh, it it doesn't have to be a ritual or a special practice. It can be, but it can also be more than that. So I am again very thankful for those of you who showed up. And if you have any questions, if you have any comments, please let me know. I look forward to hearing from you, and I am so glad you joined me today. I will see you again soon, I hope. And um, if I don't have another live stream before the holiday, I know there's various holidays that we're participating in right now. So I just want to wish you all a great holiday season, whatever you celebrate, or if you don't. I hope you just have a beautiful winter season. So I will see you later.